Well, you know, I think for FaZe, we're going to be looking at this double orb between Nico and Brokey to deliver a hell of a lot. We can hear that beat kicking on up, and that means this pistol round is about to begin. And we timed it right. We hit 0, and we did. But nice try. And now FaZe over on the CT side. mousesports going to start looking for this long pick. Chris J throws himself because he had the spawn out through long. In the meantime, FaZe pushing up through the catwalk. Nico and Rain side by side. A very heavy emphasis over towards the B bomb site from FaZe Clan, with Olaf floating around in mid and 2 players entrenched deeply back at B. As these smokes come over, the rotation's now trying to come through from FaZe, but they will be lacking in how many bodies they've got on the site. That's not to matter though, because Olaf and Nico have taken matters into their own hands, and it's only Rops left now for the mousesports squad. Brokey was able to provide back-to-back 4Ks for FaZe to find their pistols. Can Rops now do the same? Ooh, nice final bullet onto coldzera. Nico with 6 points of health is a soft, squishy target that Rops is going to look to shut down. Olaf, in the meantime, has gone all the way over towards the long doors, and he's holding for this top mid rotation.
I like this play from Olaf. This provides 2 things. One, it's an unexpected position. If Rops flanks long, he's going to die. The other thing is, once Nico spots Rops up catwalk, I imagine Olaf is going to flank. He's actually not going to. He's going to double back towards the site, but a flank could have been everything. Either way, the bomb is in the open, and Rops has got to get this kill to Nico first. Olaf stalling. He knows he doesn't have to take this fight. Rops drops, and now he grabs the bomb. Looking still for Nico. This is a rotation to B. This is a great call. Nico has spotted it though. Rops, he's going to get legged. He's getting tagged as he runs through the spawn. Nico dropping in to try and chase him down. Rops is ahead of the time, ahead of the game, but he's not going to be able to get it to B. You think Nico runs out of ammo, and Rops has a chance in the one-on-one.
Oh, he has to plan. He's going to get it done, and now Olaf comes barreling in with a 100 HP on the mark. Rops 13. Here comes the peek from the window, and takes his time with it. Rops makes it easy. Goodness gracious. Olaf falls, and that's a first round, a pistol round for mousesports.
This series is not one that you should be missing. Now, if you're hearing this, you're probably already tuned in, so I don't know how to get the message out there to everyone who isn't. Wait, hang on. What if we use the hashtag ESL Pro League to inform all the folks on Twitter that this is the place you want to be? It's another pistol 4K, this time from Rops to put around on the board for Mouse.
And that's so important. He was quiet back in that previous map, right? Stuck in or on the CT side. FaZe avoiding him for a good amount of time, but the fact that Rops opens up is a sign of things to come for mousesports. It's a force for FaZe. Of course, they want to bite back. You think about Train, think about the manner in which that second half went down. So many force wins for both sides. So Mouse have to be careful. Getting out through middle, the smokes can come down towards CT, cut off FaZe on that rotation. Now, of course, Brokey can go through them, but Mouse need to dedicate players are watching for that smoke. They don't. Brokey, he's got a charge, he's got a shot. He does take down Carrigan, but trade is quick and concise. mousesports setting up to B, and Rain gets dinked, but in the same vein, he knocks out Frozen from this round. There's a man at the back of the car. Chris can't find the kill, and coldzera stalling on B, allowing time for Rain to come in on rotate. That's a big kill for Cold, and Rain's going to finish off the job. FaZe do find a force. I'm almost not surprised.
What are we watching?
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't, like, it's so weird. This isn't Counter-Strike, but at the same time, it is. And FaZe stealing that force by round away. We're going to get the force by wars again. But are they going to go on as long and as back and forth as they did on Train? That's what we're going to have to wait and see. It's deagles aplenty for mousesports. Carrigan tries to play for the long pick. That is like a ballsy maneuver from Carrigan. Do they even know he's out? That's my question. They do. They've Molotov'd him. He smokes that off. He's still looking for this fight. He's still trying to force these engagements out from FaZe. Smoke now in the long doors, and they thought that meant they could isolate Carrigan, but no. They do come back in and get the trade at the very, very least. They actually tip the hat even further in favor of FaZe Clan, and now Rain from the car sends Chris J packing. So Woxic and Frozen, 2-on-4. Bit of damage done onto Nico, but that's all there is to write home about in this round. They've got to go back and get this bomb in top mid. Oh, gets wall-banged by Frozen.
It's like 4 bullets.
Never even saw him there in CT spawns. That's a bit of an interesting one on the spam. And this has softened up 2 players now down into the one-hit range of these Deagles.
Frozen knows Cold's here. Look at the blood on the wall. He knows his connection was successful with the Deagle, and therefore Cold has to be on the left or right side. The read is there for Frozen. The swing should be punished, and Cold's not going to go for it. I like that. He stalls it out. He waits his time, and he gets a kill to Woxic, even following up. I thought he would swing off the back of that run, but instead he gets both kills, and that's even better. FaZe Clan 2-1 up. Deal with the Deags and Mouse as they now have to take a full eco themselves. I want to know how many rifle-on-rifle rounds we've had in this series, because it doesn't feel like a lot.
Well, even that, and we look at the eco rounds and like how many eco on anti-eco rounds have been won.
Yeah.
Craziness. Crazy scenes out here at the Pro League.
Certainly entertaining, Trace. You know, what we want here on the Pro League. A bit of fun.
How is Nico staying? Oh, I get it. I understand. Anyway, good shot onto Woxic as we're looking at just 4 Glocks remaining here for the side of mousesports. Surely the idea here is to swarm this opper in the middle, but he's not alone. Coldzera's here with a FAMAS, and that could just be everything. He's lined up for a pop flash. Instead of swarming this middle area, they're going to elect to go up catwalk. It's going to be Rain that's going to meet them at the ramp. One player has already dropped off into CT spawn. However, Coldzera has dispatched him, and Rain doing the rest of the work over there for Kerrigan and Chris J. Rops with the pea shooter from long. Not really going to land any of those that matter. And there you have it. A 3rd one for the FaZe Clan.
The guns are out. And mousesports, no Kriegs on the T side of this map. They lean against them. They don't want to give those over to FaZe. We know how viable those guns are, holding angles, especially on a map like Dust2.
Well, first of all, the guns have already been out. And I'm talking about Rain. This guy, he's jacked. And not only that, y'all know the rest of the story.
Yeah, something about restaurants, clothes, dudes.
Look at this round. Speaking of dudes, Nico and Coldzera, they've aggressed in mid, and sure, Nico falls back, but Cold now making his way up onto the catwalk, and this means this A site is going to have a lot of bodies in it for the FaZe Clan side. Mouse, will they be aware of this fact? It does leave Brokey to hold the B site alone, armed with only an MP9 to try and get the job done with.
Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. As mousesports try to work their way up long, they're going to flash out. Rain is going to be blinded. Nico is there to help. Ooh. It's going to be a rough take here for mousesports. They're going to try to run it up on long. Nico peeking with the op, almost getting doubles out of that one. It's going to be Rain that does it for him.
Just walks into the pit. It should be coming to a close here, although he's done a lot of damage onto Nico. Can't finish a kill. Rain gets tagged up as well. Woxic, surely on one of these peaks, he's going to get his head blown off. See the bullets coming in the flank as well. Cold is on the lurk down long. Woxic buying his time, but not much time left to buy. It might be discounted. Cold's going to take him out, and that's a free AK as well if he can get there in time. Just about 4-1 up for FaZe, looking good on Dust2. Certainly got the momentum in their back pocket, you know, after winning the previous map of Train. One that has been so good to mousesports in the Pro League, and just generally. So there's a chance for FaZe to run wild with this CT side start. The mousesports, the pistol, they have not stopped. 4 in a row. And more pistols for mousesports should be a 5th for FaZe.
Should be. Let's see what mousesports have up their sleeve here with just some pistols, it looks like. Truly, anywhere they're going, they're getting shut down. Rain has really held on to this A site. And you want to tempt your fate at B, well, go ahead. Brokey's standing idly by. He's got an AK. He's ready for you. Scary boost right here.
Yeah, but it never really delivers for Mowers, and you know they're not really expecting to find much in this round. Armed with only the Deags on the majority of these guys. Woxic obviously saving a bit of extra money to try and bring that AWP out for mousesports. Nico does actually get dinked by Woxic out through mid. Not going to transpire, not going to give them the kill though. And there's the shutdown. FaZe Clan, 5-1 up. mousesports, this is where they're going to hope to right their wrongs and start to regain control. A bit of a worrying sign as Woxic is yet to frag. However, this is the first time we've seen him bring out the AWP over here in this map thus far. And that's where things stand to get exciting.
Chris J finds himself in a very similar position, even less ADR. So we have the almost James Bond there on Woxic.
Wow, let's see if he enters the server, gets his license, joins Alexa B in the field.
Just two field agents working at it, getting it done.
006 and 007. Chris needs to be careful. Olaf's on catwalk right now. It's a good grenade. Actually won't find anything significant. Chris gets tagged, but he'll be more than happy with that. mousesports going about their default slow and steady as they prod and poke a middle, set up towards the catwalk, maintaining that tunnel's control to deny aggression from FaZe. And FaZe are gambling right now. We saw the 4-man A setup. Well, now, how about triple B?
Oh, here we go. This should be creative.
Ooh, run.
Yeah, that's gonna be enough to get Nico out of there. He was hanging around the elbow with the AWP. And, well, now he's had to reposition. He's gonna go towards the long side of things, and here comes a smoke on the rail from the side of mousesports. It's gonna buy them a little bit more real estate in their effort to get onto this A-bomb site. Throw a second one towards elevator. Full commit is there. They're gonna have some spawn drop go on. And that's going to create an interesting dilemma, interesting problem here for FaZe Clan to try to fix up at least.
Nico thinks he has the timing to get out, but little does he know. Chris J is in hot pursuit. He will be gone from the round as Olaf gets rid of him, 4-on-3. And a man stuck in CT, not quite there yet, but down below in the boxes. Frozen's trying to bait players in by running above and showing his shadow. That is by design. As you can see, Carrigan falls in to try and force the fight. That's not successful. Rain gets the kill, and he knows that Frozen is holding this position because of the shadow. Woxic needs to hit this shot, and he does. There's another man there, though, and Frozen, he does get the kill below. He follows up with both, actually. Olaf alone in a 1-on-2. It's not happening. mousesports, what a setup. I thought surely that was done after Carrigan loses his life chasing that kill, and Woxic only, you know, getting one on Cat. Frozen had to double down, and he did.
That's nuts. The fact that he flicks 180 and downwards as well, which brings like a whole new plane of movement into that. He deals with the guy on short and then follow. Look at this. Headshot onto that guy and then also breaks Rain down in CT. My goodness, Frozen looking good right now. And big kills from Woxic as well, right? Like, first time we see him donning the AWP for mousesports in this game, and he immediately delivers 2 kills to help close that round out in their favor. Investments back in now for FaZe. They've got the AWP in the hands of Nico once again. And he's looking for some action over here towards Catwalk. He just might get given his wish. As Carrigan and Chris J stack up on the other side. Smoke goes down. Nico playing the drop-down position.
Foe is out. FaZe should know this is a commitment. They've spotted a long lurk. Frozen's going to double back to mid as mousesports take the catwalk. Flash out for cold, and he finds one, but the trade is in. Guns dropped over as upgrades are allowed by Mouse. Frozen doubling back after a kill in middle, and he might get a bit of an unfortunate timing. FaZe have a double mid setup. They might come in on this catwalk flank. That is a common point of rotation, far safer than coming through the spawn, but it might not be even a round attempted by FaZe. They lose yet another man. Olaf dead on long. And Nico and Brokey, they're out of this one. They're going to save. You know, not that I doubt Nico on this weapon, but after seeing Brokey just absolutely shred mousesports on train, I'd almost like to just see the AWP on him in this map, just off the back of the momentum, right? Nico was hitting some incredible heights with the rifles in train as well, so, you know, that would be cool. But, you know, when they get money for double AWP, I imagine that'll be the case. It could even be the next round, right? Brokey could drop it over and buy a second AWP. We'll see if that is a decision made by FaZe. Of course, it can be used, you know, for and against your benefit. It can hold you back in these retakes, but already in that one, FaZe aren't going to consider it. So drop should come through. The buy should be in for FaZe as mousesports find their third. Back-to-back rounds on this T side. But how many more? No double AWP for FaZe either.
Yeah, Woxic wasn't holding the mid-cross. Instead, he had the spawn for tunnels. So he's gone running over here with Rops alongside him. They throw him into a bit of an off angle here. But smokes go in, and so nothing's found on the back of this early B presence for the mousesports side. Now, they haven't got map control anywhere else. These players that were in mid have actually left mid and elected to join the rest of the gang in tunnels. That's everyone apart from Frozen, but even he looks like he could follow suit. And so, yeah, now this is just the B commitment. That's been telegraphed now as they start to get into the site, and the rotations are on their way. That's where we're going to look to Frozen over here on the catwalk to try and cut off these rotating, or in this case, saving players. FaZe looking to get out of danger. Little do they know, it's right behind them.
Well, stalemate. A safe city for FaZe Clan, and they will get away with these guns. mousesports aren't hunting anyone down, so a successful B plant. And 4 alive for Mouse is very nice in building up this T-side economy. FaZe are doing the best they can to preserve theirs, but
this is going to be that back and forth that I kind of, prophesized almost. Both of these teams having just what they need in terms of pieces of the puzzle to keep it entertaining. Or even competitive is probably a better word.
Well, 5-4. Back and forth is nice, Trace, after, pretty convincing wins either side of the field. Of course, on the opponent's map pick, as is Pro League tradition. Who wins their own map pick in 2020? Well, Woxic missing the cross shot of the AWP. FaZe do have Cold Zero trying to push and prod at that position. There's a smoke in middle that would allow him to go aggressive, but instead the aggression's coming in from Nico on the catwalk. He got fast catted up here and is going to look to take matters into his own hands. Nice shot. Carrigan gone. Nico just going to double back through the molly. He takes 40 damage, but that's worth it for the kill. Doesn't allow mousesports to trade it either with a further molly down. A good grenade from FaZe, double, and a molly to finally put Chris J out of his misery. He's down to 22. Nico gets tagged in CT. Romps is out mid. mousesports might come to join him here. Long, not successful for them as they take a bit of a beating between the doors. So Frozen holds on to that, and the rest of mousesports set up on Cat as is tradition.
A little bit of a response in the form of grenades, nice. But it's Nico that gets clipped there by Chris J, and then that's his shot in this round out of the way. 4 versus 4. Very low on Chris J, 11 HP to be exact. Some heroics. They're going to dump all this utility into the A site. Rain, though, wants to get close, wants to make it personal. Does have a little bit of a one-way to his advantage and is only good for 1. Chris was already low. And now this A bomb site is very vulnerable. 3v3. Olaf, the closest with the angle at least. Find himself at long. However, the plant's going to come in for Cat. Cold Zero and Brokey going to consider joining him.
Oh, that's
He's not going to be there, is he?
No.
That will force a save. There's no way they can go for it now. Olaf's gone. The time is half, and yeah, FaZe have no position inside of the site. So they hang around. They look to see if any kills come their way, but there's nothing here for mousesports. I like how Frozen is really adopting this position. I don't know if it's him up there right now. I think it was Rops on the catwalk, but Rops was sitting in that corner spot that Frozen got that 2K from with a swivel. So yeah, mousesports, it's a good position. And they're making the most of it. 5 rounds on this T side, really coming to life. It isn't, I mean, it's back and forth in some sense, but 5 in a row for FaZe and now 4 in a row for mousesports. Well, the streak is in their favor. Will they continue on it? This shot, I don't know even how it hits.
It's like hits his
toe.
Big toe.
Yeah.
Well, that's why, you got to thank Rops for doing the earlier damage onto Nico, right? To actually allow that kill to come through. Only like a minor detail, but it would have made all the difference. Something that I think is a little bit wild is that right now, we've only seen mousesports take a man advantage 3 times in this 11-round game. And, keeping this score even at 5-5 when you've been playing this a man down a lot of the time feels impressive. Even that round there, it was Nico to open up with a frag onto Carrigan, and this round is no exception. So those opening duels continue to go in FaZe's favor. They go one step further and even put some chip damage in with those with those nades. Follow up onto Chris J and Frozen. as Rain deals with both of them. Carrigan now trying to force the issue out from Catwalk. The bomb is in tow on the back of Woxic, and he's hounding down Nico. Oh, looking for a little bit more, but Rain will lay him to rest. Rain is on for the ace, by the way. Woxic, the last man remaining, trying to deny the ace to Rain. But it's not going to happen. Rain's going to get it, isn't it? And my word, 6 on the board for FaZe. They break this streak of mousesports. Rain's always been just such a sick Dust2 player, especially in this A site. I think some of his best moments have been delivered from holding the A site down. And in this game now, he's delivering exactly what we want from him, right? 15 and 4, an ace in this round to get him to that scoreline.
And they had guns.
Yeah,
this wasn't like an eco mop-up here.
Yeah.
This was, you know, a full-on commitment from the side of mousesports.
Ooh, certainly was a mop-up, though, and Brokey will get tagged on the cross in this one. Rob's making it fast to the other side of tunnels, not getting picked by an AWP that could take a position on the box. The AWP for FaZe saved by Rain and given to Nico up on the long side of things. Frozen very fearful of the long doors, considering how much utility was successful for FaZe in the previous rounds. So he holds it passive. Olaf going to jump spot, try and bait Frozen into swing. If he does, Nico's there. That's a good bait by FaZe. The audio is the intention. Olaf is running around, making footsteps, but Frozen isn't falling for it. And Olaf might even push in off of the back of this clearly emptiness. Well, it's not empty anymore. Frozen has been waiting in the corner the whole time. Nico dodges the flashbang, but he unscopes to the Molotov. He thinks he's not going to get repeat. That is not the case. Frozen finds 2. A big couple of openers towards this A site. FaZe may even save. Look at Rain leaving the site. There's nothing for him here in middle. Everyone is on A for mousesports, and they even have a lurk just to make sure that FaZe can't save these guns. Rops is going to be coming in late to kill the players in the B bomb site.
Frozen's even moving over to start to take a peek in as well. He's holding for this mid-cross, and he just saw Nico divert over towards B. So he'll join up with Rops, and they might look to really do some damage toward the end of this round. They know that they're in B. They cannot be anywhere else. You've cleared T-spawn. You spotted Nico leaving, going towards this bomb site. So they know that all 3 of these saving players for FaZe are here. However, they don't want to commit to these fights, not yet anyway, and that probably isn't going to change. I think at this point, mousesports are more concerned with keeping their money in a good spot as opposed to hurting the economy of FaZe.
Yeah, especially given, you know, the situation of how unforgiving some of these rounds have been to both sides. Talking about balancing that ledger out.
Six, all tied up. The last couple of rounds of the half hit, see who's going to be taking the lead. Rops again on that safe B cross. No one spots it for FaZe. They run a double B. mousesports, you know, been pretty focused on A this map. Pretty much just taking Catwalk, going about the traditional standard A takes. They have had a couple of B rounds in the midst of the madness, but I'd like to see them go back to it later in the half. Maybe Fane and Cat taking them fall into lower. Their mid to B last time got pretty shut out. And so that seems to be the plan here with the bomb in tunnels and Woxic holding onto the AWP. Players up on Catwalk and outside long doing what they usually do, but FaZe aren't convinced by these efforts. They still have Rain out in middle towards CT watching for this cross. Now, mousesports can, of course, smoke him off as they go to this mid to B play, but that would only ready the players inside of the B site to be prepared for a hit. FaZe are.
Typical aggression coming out here towards the mid side of things. Rain just straight up deleting Kerrigan through a smoke. And you know, what can you really do about it? Because that's not going to stop just there. coldzera is going to have a say in this round as well. And meanwhile, where coldzera left off, it's Brokey. There's 2 players alive. Make it just 1 in Woxic. He's got an AWP. Nowhere to go with it. Nothing to do. No time. And what is another round for the FaZe Clan? We're nearing the end of this half. And it would appear as though one hashtag has stuck, and that's going to be Harry and Hugo, what's going on in this game? That seems like it was the easiest one to type out, so I guess that was the one that stuck. It's strange, but there you go. 7 on the board for FaZe, 6 for mousesports. 1 AWP carried over, but plenty of money to put weapons back in the hands of these Mouse players. Okay, now that is interesting. If you tally entire frags of the mousesports organization, it'd equal 140,000 kills.
391 trace.
I didn't see that in time. But, yeah, that number. Those people.
It's a lot of frags.
Look at Carrigan go in this round. He's not waiting around for anyone. He's just picked up the pace. However, sometimes if you go a little too fast, you might just obliterate on the re-entry through these mid doors. Chris J does manage to get across and even tags coldzera through the doors. He's able to fall back into the B site, but that's the only silver lining right here for FaZe. Cold's got to do it all. He's getting pressured, but only by Carrigan. The rest of the mid split never arrives. It's gone back through the tunnels, and now Rop's coming in late. That's allowed for FaZe to start to get these players in CT in position. You can see the other FaZe guys have gone back just to double check long because they realize that this play's slowed right down. Frozen delivering 2 big kills. Woxic down through mid. This cannot be another 2-on-5. Surely not. Surely this doesn't happen again. We're down to just Olaf and Nico now in the retake. Now Frozen has this bomb planted. Molly in the door, that's gonna force the fight from Olaf, and he almost chains it onto Woxic. Nico with the AWP versus Woxic. Flash goes in, and Nico gets the job done. It's 8 on the board for FaZe Clan as they make that retake happen, albeit by this skin of their teeth.
It was the same 2 as well. Woxic and Frozen, they won that 2-on-4 on the A site, and they get 4 out of 5 of the players in the 2-on-5. So close, yet so far. And FaZe hold the lead now at the end of the half, 6-8. And a potential 9th for FaZe as they win that retake. If only mousesports committed with that mid play, right? coldzera was solo B. FaZe have been leaning on 2-3 B players, but because of how fast mousesports got out middle, FaZe would cut off in the spawn with 2 of their own. So Cole was alone. He was on an island. mousesports could have just traded the kill, but Carrigan goes in alone. He dies, and then the rest of mousesports dribble out. Cole's able to get a further kill before he eventually dies. Far more than you can let slip if you're mousesports in that spot.
And if you're mousesports, you're thinking you're lucky stars right now for at least players like Frozen who have shown up in huge ways in this best of 3, especially on this map right now.
And especially in this round.
Yep, already in this round, imagine that.
Yeah, quick trade up. Cat does get rid of Nico at least. So 4-on-4 for mousesports opens up a world of opportunity for them. 2 on B for FaZe. mousesports, the middle is open. I'd love to see, and like, I've never actually, I'm trying to think if this has ever happened, but in a 2-on-2, when you have a position like this and FaZe playing 2A, 2B, I'd love to see mousesports like walk through CT and try and flank A, or just anyone for that matter. Not going to happen though. Flash is unfortunate for Frozen. He gets blinded out. Brokey's going to take him down, and Woxic alone does get that kill. A chance for a plant, but how much more with 7 points of health?
Yeah, he's so low off of that nade. Woxic going back into the tunnel. FaZe have rotated both players toward this B site. Now, eventually, they're going to have to start to consider, well, what if he's gone A? But who on earth would go A in this situation? I'll tell you. His name's Woxic, and he's on his way there now. 30 seconds. He's taken a bit of a scenic route. Now, don't know if he's got the time to do that. He's still going to be all good. It's just this cross that's a bit of a tenuous subject. FaZe is still at B. They're like, no, he really isn't here. They're even looking at each other. They can't believe it. Rain and Olaf, they are really not sold that he is not here. And he's not there. Woxic is over at the A bomb site. He's got that bomb on his back. He's going to start to tap in the numbers now. Even he's kind of a bit bewildered as to how this has gone so well, but it might get mopped up by FaZe. Olaf coming into catwalk with Rain down in CT. A double-pronged approach. This nade on Olaf could end the entire round, honestly. If that gets thrown in, the round just might be over. Woxic, yeah, dropped from the site. And a 9th round presents itself to FaZe. They don't over-rotate there because they don't want to split that defense up, right? That's the real reason they both commit to B. And that's what it takes for them to put a 9th round on the board. This is still so damn close. This is the 3rd and final map of this series, and both these teams are delivering in spades. Join us after a quick break, but we'll be back with that second half.
Numbers going up, better keep it up. It's slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What about too hard, ayy? What about too hard, ayy? Ayy, about too hard, ayy. They not gon' like this. Don't like surprises. I cause a crisis. Man, I'm a scientist. With the music, I spice things up to my liking. Man, I want nice things, nice things. That's not an AK, it's a Uzi. I pull up and shoot it to movie. I'm chasing the bag, not a coochie. Cut ties with the fake, now it's Gucci. Word of my niggas from the 021. You count 6 shots and I count 2 guns. Some people still think I rap just for fun, but soon they look up to me just like the sun. Yeah, you can come over here. Swear it's like no career. Swear you got no idea. Soon you have no career. Take a good look in the mirror. They need to know that I'm here. Don't you act like it ain't clear. Yeah, push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. This is fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What about too hard, ayy? What about too hard, ayy? Ayy, about too hard.
Don't you know I'm a bad little mama? I got moves like Madonna. Don't tell me cause I move when I'm gonna. I'm not afraid to lose, I am a prima donna. Don't you see I'm a winner, I'm a queen. I cause no scene if you work with me. Don't stop me cause I fight when I wanna. I'm not afraid to lose, I am a prima donna.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. All we know is ball to empty out the mouth. The chosen one they call, I take my fan with me. Know about it if you tell, know you're breaking codes. What your credibility and all fall like dominoes.
Man, currently 2-0 in opening duels, 5 multi-kill rounds, and well, as you take a look, his ADR through the roof, 122.1, 17-5. This guy, he's everywhere. His name is Rain. You might know him as the Architect, or better yet, Howie, the Norwegian player that has certainly been at home in FaZe Clan for quite some time. Now we're going to turn our attention to a Twitter questions come in using hashtag EPL Mailbag. If CSGO was an Olympic sport, what country do you think would win? Love from New Zealand and Go Gratisfaction. Now, thank you so much for your question. Moreover, I also kind of like New Zealand. I've never been there, but it seems like it'd be a pretty cool place. But what do you guys think?
Denmark.
Perhaps. Kind of. Yeah, that could make sense.
The US as well, they have a lot of players.
So, like, if somehow they got all their stuff together and then they could finally make one roster to just run the world.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why video games aren't going to be in the Olympics, because, you know, we have multinational teams, which is awesome. And, well, 2 of them on our screens right now. Miles FaZe, the pistol round is well and truly on. Woxic pushing the top and middle, pushing the perimeters for 2. Trade to back in for FaZe, though. Brokey gets flashed out of mid. He can still get up on the catwalk, and FaZe can go towards that A site if they please.
Yeah, these first few kills maybe proving to be nothing more than a little hiccup for FaZe in this round as they get out towards long. Rain has Brokey in tow, and there's a smoke to help them get across as well. Carrigan sits inside of the A site right now, and he's got a kit on his back. So doesn't have armor. That's something to bear in mind as these Glocks and this P2 start to close the distance on him here. Carrigan's got to try and deliver a hell of a lot with not much. And there's one.
Boy.
Oh dear, only Brokey left, and Carrigan's just being a nuisance. Finally, he's able to put the kill on the board. The kit is now dropped over here, short side. They're gonna boost up Rops, and he's given an avenue, but Brokey is so good in these pistol rounds. Now down to the 1v1, and Chris J on the other side. Brokey's so low on HP, and he's trying to hide. He's trying to hide from Chris. He gets it done. It's another 1vx clutch from Brokey in the pistol round. There were 2 actually, I say that. There was one 1v4 back on train, a 4K as well in the first pistol for him on that map. And here, in this pistol round, he gets it done in a 1v3. Brokey is so good in these pistol rounds and good in the clutch situations across the board. He's been a treat to watch today.
Yeah, he's certainly been something.
10-6 now. FaZe with the lead in this second half. Grenade is good on long. Nico's going to go through regardless. There's only one man here, and that's perfect for Nico. He knows that Karrigan's been throwing utility. Cold is actually going to get the kill as well. So FaZe in the wrong position with the Molotov down in the car. Clearing out that spot. Cold messing up his jump throw from atop the barrels. It looked right on the lineup, but lands on the roof. Not a worry. They've already used one of their mollies to clear cars, so not going to be a player there for mousesports. Instead, they boost up in CT. Frozen is going to be on the site. Chris on the elevator. The jump does result in a tag going through. The grenade could be good, but at this point, you're looking for kills. Second nade, maybe the chance. Bang. He goes out of the round and further damage done. That makes these Deagles just the more adventurous here for mousesports.
Yeah, Chris J looking to get boosted up at the site. Frozen with the idea from the looks of it. And it didn't go super well. He takes one pop shot, has to fall off because the pressure's too immense. Just under a minute left on the clock, and currently Rops holding down from Catwalk. Meanwhile, all 4 members of FaZe Clan that are alive are holding down this long A area. Now, we noticed that Molotov that was used on Car. I don't think it was deep enough to clear close right, which did kind of give a little bit of worry to FaZe in their aggression, or their progression onto the site. But they still haven't gotten there until now. They're just now crossing ramp.
Ooh.
Be running it straight into Wox's SMG.
Ooh, mousesports, how are they getting away with this? FaZe is taking their sweet time to cross to the site, and the low HP certainly doesn't help. Wox's going to finish the job. Rain traded on the car, and mousesports win the force. I don't even know what's going on in this game, Trace. It is despicable. mousesports are just reboosting. FaZe are spending the whole round spamming the smokes. They finally fade, and FaZe are on the site, but Woxic boosts up and kills 2. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know either, man. I'm looking at this. I'm just like, what?
You what?
It's actually crazy to think that we've had these force buy wars now 3 times. Like, this is, with scary consistency, it's going on. And this time it's FaZe to try and long it out. Now, one thing to note is that there's only 2 armored players in this force buy round. That is not the most common thing. They've really put an emphasis on bringing this utility into this round. So what have they got planned with it? They start to take Catwalk. It might just be, you know, these standard cat smokes in order to deny vision of the player in the bomb site, and then they try and close the gap with these pistols. That's what I'm imagining, you know, looking at all the utility they've got. Olaf has a full belt of utility, by the way, and he's over in top tunnel. So he's maybe going to look to maybe throw a bit of a fake in here. Alternatively, they can group back and they can actually join him if this A site doesn't look pretty. So it just depends on what kind of responsibility they want to give him. And yeah, it's this fake into A. They drop Rain into CT. He calls that this is clear, and now they try and get into the B site. But Rops has delivered 2, and Chris J keeps this in the advantage of Mouse. They deal with this fake well. And now just Rain and Olaf left standing.
Just Olaf. A couple of years ago, you would have said, oh, it's not just Olaf, it's Olaf.
That's something I think I love about this FaZe team, man, is it literally looks like if you ask like Reddit to make a roster back in 2016, this is basically how it would be looking. And that's something that I think works both in their favor and against them. You know, like this is a team of legends, but it's like at the same time, you know, we've heard from like lesser experienced IGLs, like for example, think of someone like Golden when he joined Fnatic. One of the things that everyone gave him credit for was being able to like reel in a bunch of legends and have them actually listen to what he was churning out in the server. So, you know, there's always something going on there in that sense with the more experienced players.
On top of that, you know, we look at a team like MIBR and talk about their rise back to the top,
yeah,
which is so hard to do once you've already achieved it once. I mean, I feel like it's hard, you know, anyway with the same roster, but then, you know, these individual legends who all had success separately, now having to do it together, I mean, that's, yeah, it's difficult. It's, of course, you know, great to have the experience there, but it's never going to be easy for FaZe. And this round is also going to be difficult because Karrigan's there on long with an MP9, and they're on block, so it's going to be a quick affair. FaZe getting swept under the rug. And mousesports moving in for 9. 2 rounds now made 3 on the CT side, and FaZe are going to be buying back in. Brokey's got the AWP as well. Sorry to cut you off, Trace. I just thought that was a noteworthy point.
But I didn't say anything.
I can hear you getting ready to say
But
something.
I wasn't going to say anything. Really? I guess I'll say something now.
Okay.
At this rate, now, provided FaZe can stay in this and not just get run all over right now by mousesports, this has got the making of 30 rounds all over it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every Pro League game feels like a 30-rounder, and most of them are. Woxic, though, he wants to make it a little bit shorter. As he gets aggressive towards the tunnels. Solo B player with an AWP is always a risk. It means, you know, you can't miss a shot. But there's one thing Woxic's good at. It's not missing shots. Probably won't find a fight to take, though, with Olof falling out of the tunnels and the rest of FaZe Clan climbing up the catwalk. That mid-smoke buys him the time, and Rops won't see it, but he can predict it. Has he got the read as he rotates CT? Actually just hanging around. Frozen spotting from the site as well. He's got a teammate in Goose. Chris is going to be waiting for the time to strike. Doesn't have a flash to get himself out of the position, which can be difficult, but will FaZe check it or not? That's the question as they set up for this A play.
Yeah, you'll note that Carrigan has held on to a flash over at Long and has made sure to keep that in his back pocket along with Frozen. So that allows both of these players to try and set up the guys inside of the site that much more. Woxic getting that kill has now allowed the players to begin an early rotation in towards this A side of the map. So, oh, this Molotov makes Brokey stuck over on short side, out on a bit of an island, and then gets dropped by Frozen. Nico gets that trade. Carrigan.
Oh, baby.
Now moving in from Long. Nico doubling up, but are they ready for Chris J? Might not matter if they're ready. No amount of preparation can help you going toe-to-toe with Chris J as he ties it up 10-10 for mousesports. There's no money left in those FaZe Clan bank accounts. And so as a result, Mouse might be about to slingshot themselves into the lead here in this second half. If they manage to do so, it will be 5 rounds in a row from this mousesports squad in order to get them there.
Yeah, we see this Molotov come out on catwalk again, and we've caught it a couple glimpses of the same position of Molotov, being flying in from Long. But what it's effectively doing is isolating one player way out there on his lonesome. In that situation, it was Brokey who had the op trained on the bomb box, and with a couple smokes going off, well, that was just about it. What can you do if not go forward? You certainly don't want to go backwards. Maybe FaZe Clan have something cool up their sleeve in this round. 10-10, round 21, and it's going to be pistols for the side of FaZe. So far, mid presence entirely, and upper B. Looks like it's going to be that mid to B split with the bomb going out upper. Rain and Nico looking to go out into lower into middle.
A slow crawl for FaZe, but it's about to heat up and speed up into this B site once the smoke comes down. There it is for Rain, and one was also thrown through the tunnels. Rops and Chris, rather. Oh, I like that smoke. It buys him time. He can sit in front of the tunnels and fight in front of B while also being protected from his flank on the mid play. Chris getting away with one, but they're above the boxes right now. The spray should give away his position. He gets 2. Oh, dear. Out of ammo. Swap to the Deagle for a 3rd. Deagle out 4 kills. Chris is going to kill them all. And mousesports will get rid of those pistols like it's nothing.
What a play from Chris. Would love to go back and look at this smoke and really see the location of it. But yeah, really heads up. Positioning, maneuvering, whatever you want to say, but then the shots. It's this last kill that you really don't think he has a chance in hell to get.
And it's even as well, like the fact that he's darting his crosshair up and down at the ground, that's to dodge flashes, any pop flashes that FaZe are throwing in. So like everything about that play was so thought out from Chris J, right? You could tell he was going to do something remarkable. And now, well, this buy round is on the cards for FaZe. It looked like they maybe wanted to try and go fast B, but with Rops just lighting up the first man around the corner with that AWP, that has sent FaZe away early on from this B side of the map. mousesports now sat a man up, and they don't really have to push nor prod this map anymore. One thing to note as well, FaZe don't have anyone at Long. That's where Carrigan sits. There's always a chance for him to push the envelope even further. And he just might start to do that now.
We've been seeing actually Brokey take the AWP on the T side while Nico had it in the first half. So Brokey went for a long pick a couple of rounds ago, didn't work out. He just went for the B pick and he went down to Rob. So Right now, things aren't looking good for FaZe, and they're going to desperately push B through the smoke. Rox finds one, doubles it. Molotov is burning him out, and Cold will eventually find the killing blow. Chris tapping down and finishing off the job. Nice stuff from Chris. He just looks so clean on this B site.
You have to look at what Rops just did right there, right? He knows, he sees all the Molotovs, all the grenades coming into the site, and rather than trying to get out of dodge, stay alive longer in the round, all he does is simply get 2 kills. And even though he does go down, even though the Molotov is going to burn him in place, he's done enough.
Yeah, I kind of like that as well, because like for FaZe, they start to somewhat discount that position, you know, like because it's Molotov. Who's going to stand in a molly? Well, Rop stood in the molly and was able to deliver 3 kills in that round. A lower tunnels push from Rops. He skirted past FaZe. No one was watching mid. You know, they were lining up utility, and so he's now cleared the upper tunnels. You already see Chris J running shoes on, mate. He's out of the B site. He's moving down into mid. Him and Rops have completely figured out where this player's coming in, and now the kills come through for Mouse. They get 2 in an instant and continue with this rotation. Now, this is going to be heard. FaZe not committing now.
Yeah, FaZe went tunnels. They would have the B side for free, and I feel like they've realized that. Brokey going back to that position, but they lose a man in middle. mousesports hold on to that spot. Woxic has his shot, and Brokey, he considered it for too long. If he went fast, he would have found an empty B site. Well, now it's got an enemy in. Rops is out of the round. Brokey finding that Deegan middle has bought him time to go towards B, but he is walking into the AWP of Chris J. We've had triple AWP in this round for Mouse. And Brokey is going to have to hit a huge shot. Chris misses his. That is crucial here. It's let Brokey get close with the Deagle. Flash is good. Chris just trying to stay alive, but he wants his kill more than anything. Brokey, oh, he's getting played with the flashes up. Will be able to spam. Chris took it away, and Brokey finishes the job, but he's so low. Only takes a bullet from Frozen to seal the deal for mousesports. Chris, I mean, he doesn't get a kill, but the amount of stalling he does there, and even hits the tag, is fantastic. 10-13. FaZe have gone silent on the T side here. They took the pistol round in this half. Since that point, mousesports, 7 rounds.
Unbelievable scenes. Hell, even early in the game, they looked like they were really going to gun them down here. But it's not the case currently. Smoke on Catwalk's going to give that veil of cover for the side of FaZe to try to make it that way. However, Woxic's going to be there at the end of the road. Finds Rain. And that's 1 weapon of 5 down in this round for the side of FaZe.
It feels like every round mousesports start it 5-on-4. I can't think of the last time FaZe didn't have, or even had a 5-on-4, let alone like a traded kill that would put them somewhat favored. Right now, it's a fake towards A and a quick mid-split. That's a good call, but other kills going to come through. There's no CT smoke, and that's a big mistake. Robs gets 2 frags, and they're still concerned at the B site. They think there's more players there. There's not. Carrigan's pushed long, and he's coming in on a big flank. He might even be able to cut Nico down, but he's been spotted. Got to be careful here, fighting through the doors. The spam is in, and Carrigan's made it a 2-on-1.
Yes, he has. Here comes Olaf. 2 kills in the round, AWP on his name. Just missing the headshot there onto the player in spawn. He's going to go ahead and get into the site. Get well dug into the back. Very curious of this angle towards tunnels. But guess what? They're not coming that way. It's going to be right here at the door. 8 HP. Where can he go? Nowhere. There you have it. Another mousesports round in what was a really scary, real sweaty monk-ass situation at the end.
Olaf just turns around and sees Carrigan sat in the window behind him with a nade out. I can't even begin to imagine how much fear you start. Look at the time. Whoa, dear.
Carrigan just lobs it.
Right,
I
the Molotov
like
at him
this.
and hope for the best.
Tries to throw the bottle at him. But he'll end up throwing the book at him as he sends FaZe Clan away for a long while. 14-10 now. US Air Force tactical timeout called in from the FaZe Clan side. And they need to provide some answers because thus far in this second half, outside of the pistol, FaZe have not picked up a single round. Let's not forget, this was 10-6 at one point in time. Now, mousesports 14-10 up.
Look at that.
Just a whole run through there of the CT side.
Something that's even more unreal is when we were like in round, I think it was round 11, I mentioned how FaZe was 7-3 in opening duels. Like they'd been winning the majority of them thus far in the first half. And as you just said, Hugo, since moving into the CT side, it doesn't feel like FaZe have got to play around where they're not 4-on-5.
And just looking at this a little bit further on, we saw a statistic there that FaZe Clan either win Series 2-0 or they lose them 2-1. So far, we are on track for that, aren't we, fellas?
Well, you want to know the opening kill stats. It might surprise you. It's 12 and 12 right now. So, you know, obviously a lot of that done on the first half of FaZe, but yeah, you know, actually equal, which is surprising. It gives even more credit to mousesports here. Woxic pushed by the flashbang. Got a Molotov to keep FaZe back. Heavy setup on B for Mouse with 2. Carrigan's peering through middle with the AUG as well. One of the few pros to still use that gun in this level. Ooh. Not the best nade. Woxic gonna look behind the smoke as well. Might be able to find some feet. But FaZe push back by the Molotov again. They don't want A. Setting up for the mid to B, walking into this setup that has been so good on this B bomb site. Carrigan even gonna try and force fight. It doesn't work out. Good damage, but Nico takes him down. And now FaZe, a man advantage. This is everything they needed. Will they finally find a round?
Oh, well, Rops is trying to have his say in the damage done through the doors, and Rops is somehow still alive, still kicking, and still a problem for FaZe. They finally deal with him, but now you got to get past Frozen, and they've been able to do that. Chris J in a 1v2 clutch to try and keep this one in mousesports' favor. Takes himself the AK. He's looked very good in the second half of play. Chris J now knows there's an enemy at car. He's trying to figure out where Brokey resides, and it's that final piece of the puzzle that ends up leading to his demise. FaZe Clan, they get an 11th on the board on the back of that US Air Force tactical timeout. Now, the money has been great for mousesports as a result of putting up, what, 8 rounds in a row. They are totally fine. You know, they're able to reinvest. They even bring the double orbs in. Another US Air Force tactical timeout for FaZe Clan.
Oh, this one's going the distance, ladies and gentlemen. Get strapped in. Lock your seat belts right where they need to be.
That's quite the stat. At big events in 2019, Nico secured the second highest rating in the world on Dust2 across 51 maps, so quite the sample size as well. You know, leaning towards why we see him on the AWP on this map. He hasn't really been running it in the T side. FaZe have had it on Brokey twice. Other than that, the money's not been there. And of course, mousesports have streaked together round after round, so no surprise. FaZe finally break that curse, though. They get on the board. Mousesports come right back in with a double orb, Chris and Woxic. And this is it, you know, if mousesports win this round, FaZe's money is broken, and Mouse should take this series. On the flip side, well, Mouse still have money, so FaZe, they've got to beat multiple rifle rounds in a row here to make this one happen.
They're going to turn the nitro up at this point. Looks like they want to get up Cat at Fury's pace. Woxic's going to be there with an AWP. Should be finding one, does instead leg both of them.
Yeah, he collaterals them, but not quite for the kill, and that is devastating. At the same time, they've both been softened up in a very big way. However, this AWP is now available for someone like Nico to get their hands on. Chris J trying to aggress. Now, this is very aggressive and maybe a little overzealous from Chris J, trying to chase those trades down, a risk, a bit of a gamble that mousesports didn't need to make. Feels like it's one of those moments where Chris J just says, guys, I'm feeling it. I'm getting these kills. And sometimes that doesn't always go the way you'd like. Old Zarek, okay, Carrigan just 180s on the spot and drops him. I guess, you know, he knew something we didn't. But now the bomb plant coming on in. Olaf spotted all the way back in T-spawn, and that might tempt mousesports to give this a go. Yeah. They know that one of these players is now in for the long rotation.
It's worth a shot. You want to at least look at it. Of course, they don't know Nico's tagged at all. They don't have that information. Brokey up on the catwalk crossing. Good timing for him. He's crouched as well. They won't see his head from this position. And Olaf is long side as well, so he is safe. Talking of safe, well, it's a save for mousesports. They push the perimeter, no kills are provided, and with that, they're just going to hold on to their guns. They will be able to survive here with enough health, as they're both full right now. So 12 rounds to FaZe, back to back, and that's sometimes the hardest thing, right? When you get around on the board, you know Mouse are going to adapt, you know they're going to be ready, and so the fact that FaZe can find 2 in a row has put mousesports in a precarious position. A rebuy will be coming back in. Do they continue with this double AWP though? mousesports with a US Air Force tactical timeout first, just to really mull it over, Trace.
I think just about after every round these past 3 has been a US Air Force tactical timeout. Of course, FaZe taking 2 of them. Now mousesports is going to chime in as well. Hey guys, this isn't working. Still got plenty of money for weapons, but what can you do different here? How can you put yourself up to map and series point? So close, yet so far, 14-12.
It's a bit of a weird one as well, because for mousesports, the thing that's been working so well is just like these big confidence plays. You know, like everyone was feeling it. You know, that you went on a huge 8-round win streak. There's no way that you weren't like going through, you know, riding the high of that victory or what felt like was going to be a victory. And so I think, you know, like you don't want to have to make that call to play more passively, because I think you're a little bit worried that that's, you know, giving that respect to FaZe is how you let them get back in. But you also don't want to be throwing away these man advantages on the back of the peaks. So I'm curious to see what the solution is here for mousesports. That said, if any man could figure out how to solve this problem, I've got some faith that Carrigan and Regin, between the two of them, would be people to get it done. So Carrigan holding the line here. FaZe going to start to back away from long. They completely concede this. I wonder if, yeah, Broky's got the AWP. I was thinking, like, Olaf was hanging around, so was Broky. One of them's getting down into the pit. And having an AWP here, that is a huge advantage for for FaZe. You just deny so much information the way of mousesports. They can't peek long. And if they ever even try to, this AWP in the pit will be there to shut them down. Now, 2 players left over at long side, but the rest of FaZe have grouped up here in the B tunnels. This is looking like it's going to be a fake with Olaf and Broky to try and sell it. They've got 2 smokes between them. That's enough to get Olaf into the bomb site. And so then, once everything goes quiet, I think they're kind of banking on Broky being able to get this trade should Olaf go down. This is a very awkward exchange, and now the B push comes in, where the bulk of this play was hoping to find success, but it has not. The bomb is dropped, and there is 30 seconds left. The fake never even has time to come through. And the bomb belongs to mousesports. Yeah. They didn't over-rotate. They didn't fall prey to that players over at long.
Quite the contrary. They rotated into B. When they saw those long smokes go down, Chris peels away from mid, and he actually goes into the B bomb site to join the already 2 players of Frozen and Rops there. So what a heavy setup for mousesports. Carrigan, he also gets info, right? He only sees 1 player, but that's enough information in and of itself. 1 player diving through a smoke on long, that doesn't seem like a long commitment. 1 flashbang from FaZe, that doesn't seem like a long commitment. And all these bits of information are churning through the brains of mousesports, and then boom, you know, Frozen's tucked in the corner on B, he gets multiple kills, and FaZe walk into the firing line. mousesports seemingly aware of that fake. And
it seemed like a good idea there from FaZe, or at least the idea that they had at hand. All things considered, you know, Carrigan really kind of probably caught with his guard down there and what he had to do or attempt to do over on the A site, if that was going to be the full-on hit. However, at this moment, at this juncture, we look at mousesports, who sit on series point here in stage 2 of the ESL Pro League Season 11.
Yeah, you got to feel rough if you're FaZe, right? You throw long smokes and then you walk into a triple B setup. Like, what on earth are mousesports doing, you must be thinking. Carrigan flashed out, but the spray is good. Olaf walks right into it. Doesn't even get out of the smoke. Rops, we've seen him in this position before. We've seen aces in this position before, and Rops is full of them. 2 kills as he spots the AWP as well. Won't go back for the repeat. He can flash to be set up to enable this kill, and he's hungry for it. He wants to close the series, but maybe a little too early. Broky finds that frag and moves in off the back of the flash. His teammate there as well. Molly pushes him forward. Trade for Chris, and he looks to solidify this series with 1 single shot. Broky, oh, he hits the tag, but he needs a lot more.
Oh, that nade not able to finish the job, and now he's looking for someone coming in on this flank. Gets the info that it's clear. Broky trying to keep some cover between him and these engagements. He's looking to isolate them into a series of one-on-ones, but mousesports are not giving him any room to work with. Woxic holding the cross. Broky going to try and flash himself just to get over. He was hoping that was going to bait the shot from Woxic, and it never comes. So when he runs the gauntlet, that's a nice, easy lineup. mousesports take this series 2-1.